Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is May the 12th, and we have two more game number 4s on the board for today. So with no further ado, let's just jump into it. I don't even have a recap from yesterday. I didn't make any official plays. The couple that were on the short list would have been a winner and a loser, so would have lost a little bit of juice. OKC did not win the second quarter. -1.5 would have been another loser. And then the over between the Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers would have been a winner if you would have bet that. But I didn't bet either. And I'm excited to jump into the slate for today, though. I will say this. I think the longer the playoffs, the longer these series go on, the more and more difficult they become. And if you're up, it doesn't mean that you have to make a bet. I think it's important. Sometimes I got to tell myself that, like, if you do a sports betting show, people looking for picks, right? Sometimes I come on here and give you guys my thoughts, and I don't have to make a bet at all, right? So remember, same thing for you guys. You don't have to play. I know a lot of people want to play. They want to force plays. That's not what I'm into. So, I'll give you guys my thoughts on the game. If I was betting them, I'll tell you guys how I would do so. And let's just jump into it. So first up, actually, because I didn't have a recap, let's go through a couple comments real quick. Then we'll see what Jackson likes. Good morning, Algina. It says, good morning, Chris. And community cashed on Garland over 15.5 points and Cleveland over 230.5 yesterday. Glad you hit that. OKC doesn't look good. Back-to-back games where they lost the second quarter. That's actually kind of crazy. I didn't think OKC would go out like that, but they absolutely did. Good morning, Prolific. Says he cashed Thunder money line at plus money. No more Al Horford slander boy. Dominicans slander boys. Dominican like me. If he plays better, Prolific, I won't slander him. But he did have a great game in game number 3. So we'll see if he could continue to put together those type of performances. Chad says Cavs are cooked down 3-1. The way Indiana looks, Cavs ain't about to win 3 before Pacers win 1. Pacers just have their number played great against the Cavs in the regular season too. Chad cashed Donovan Mitchell under 30.5 points. You hate to see him go down with the injury, but I'm glad you got a winning ticket. What up, Prop says good morning. He said, I know you already took the Pacers +8 for tomorrow. As soon as Donovan Mitchell MRI news came out. Did it come out? I don't even know if it came out or not. Let's see. I don't even know where the line went to. It's still 7. It's still 7 right now. We'll talk about that game a little bit later. What up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in as always. Great chance says Chris has to be the most disciplined bettor I've ever seen. Kudos to you, bro, to know when to keep your money in your pocket. Yeah, I mean, you do it for long enough. That's what happens, right? And it's the strong feels, right? You have to have I got to feel it in my soul to make the bet. It's how I feel about it. I guess that is discipline. Yeah, I guess it is discipline. What else? How is Cavs laying 8? Johnny says books may know something that we don't know, but I see 7s. I don't see 8s. All right, cool. Trying to get through a couple more comments. Okay, all right, that's good enough. Let's jump into it for today. So only 2 games as we talked about. First, we'll talk about what Jackson likes real quick on the Jackson front from yesterday. Jackson liked Darius Garland up and over his 15.5 points. Darius Garland did finish with 21, so that was a winner. Darius Garland also liked Russell Westbrook over his 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And that was a loser. Westbrook was a -20 yesterday. Worst player on the floor for the Denver Nuggets. Shot 2 for 9 from the 3-point line, 2 for 12 overall. Had 6 fouls, 1 turnover, just 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 6 points. So that was a losing bet. So 1-1 day for Jackson yesterday on the player props. As far as today, my thought process was very similar, but I wanted to go back to player props and talk about overs and unders, right? So first, prompt is what is the 2 best player props in today's NBA games? 1 over, 1 under based on player performances. Jackson likes Porzingis, going back to the Porzingis up and over his 3.5 boards, which is something that cashed in the last game between the Celtics and the Knicks. Says he's been dominant on the boards recently. hitting the over in this line 80% of his last 5 games, 90% of his last 10. Against the Knicks this season, he's hit the over 100% of the matchups, averaging 4.6 rebounds per game. The Knicks do rank 6th in defense versus position, but Porzingis has consistently exceeded the expectations in this matchup. His season average of 6.5 rebounds is well over the line, making this a very strong play. So that's what jaXon likes as far as one player prompt. I want to just take a quick, I forgot what this was. So he played 19 minutes in game number 3 as well, which is more than he had played in the last 2. So yeah, I don't know what the odds are. Looks like minus 150 is what jaXon says on Caesar, but you shop around, you may get a better number than that. Jalen Brunson, the next player. And I don't know if I play this one. jaXon likes Jalen Brunson under his points and assists at 33.5. Since Brunson has struggled to hit the line against the Celtics, going under 71.43% of the matchups this season, with the average of 31.43 points plus assists. Over his last 5 games, he's hit the under in 80% of this contest, averaging 32.4 points plus assists. Celtics are 5th in defense versus his position, which further limits Brunson's upside in this matchup. His season average of 33.72 plus points plus assists is close to this line, but the strong Celtics defense and recent trends suggest the under is the better play. So jaXon likes Jalen Brunson. That's going out on a limb. Jalen Brunson under 33.5 points plus assists. So yeah, that's what jaXon. That's what jaXon likes, man. And we'll leave it at that. All right, let's jump into it for today. So first up, we'll go to that Boston Celtics and New York Knicks game. This game reopened. We cashed on Boston first half in the last game minus the 4. This one reopened with Boston laying 6. It's now since moved to 6.5. The total opened to 8.5. Went up to 209. Came back down to 208.5. Back up to 209. Back down to 208.5. And now it looks like it's 208 on DraftKings right now. And 209 is the consensus though. So it has moved a little bit even this morning because I literally just did these graphics maybe like 30 minutes ago. So let's go to game 3. And before we start, we'll actually come back to this. So let's go to game 3. So I got the numbers for game 3 here. You can see them. Celtics shot the ball. I mean, we know what it was, right? They bounced back in a big way from the 3-point line. You can see that they shot 50% from 3 in that game. A little better than I thought they would shoot, but 50% is great if you like the Celtics. They, of course, dominated the game from start to finish. I forgot what their biggest lead was, but it was at least plus 20. The crazy thing about this game is that when the Celtics are making threes, they really are the best basketball team in the NBA, and it's not even really close. One of the biggest discrepancies in the game was the rebounding. You can see that the Knicks were a +1 on the boards, but they were +5 in offensive rebounds. If you got a chance to watch the first half specifically, Mitchell Robinson was down there snatching all the boards. It really didn't even matter though. They won the rebounding battle, was sending him to the free throw line. If you betting on Mitchell Robinson to make a free throw, boy, good luck. So what happens after the game, right? Let's just fast forward. Celtics dominate the game. They come out, they punch first. They, won the first quarter, won the first half, won the full game. Jason Tatum bounced back. I think he hit 5 of his 9 threes or 4 of his 9 threes, something like that. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But what happened after the game is something I think you got to take a little bit into consideration here. So if we go back, I looked at just some of the things that were said after the game. So some of the biggest quotes that kind of stuck out to me was from Thibodeau. He says, and I quote, "They got the early lead. I thought we missed some shots early that impacted us." Jalen Brunson also talked about a sense of urgency, specifically in the first half. He said we need to play with more sense of urgency. The first half needs to be better. I just don't think that we want to be in a 20-point hole each game. It's not going to suit us well. So I think about these comments. I think about liking Boston early again in this game. And is that enough to talk me off of taking Boston early again in this game? And I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Boston first half is probably the better of the best play in the game, especially with this line moving from 6 to 6.5. Can the Celtics win this game by margin again? Absolutely, they can. Do I expect the Knicks to be a little bit better on the offensive end? I guess so. I think if we're looking for any kind of regression, maybe Boston doesn't shoot 50% from the 3-point line. Maybe they don't. And if Boston doesn't shoot 50% from the free throw line, but they continue to play really good defense, they held the Knicks to only, 93 points in that last game, I think we see the total probably come back down. I don't agree with it going up. These are, again, two of the slower paced teams in the NBA. If the Celtics are not making their 3-point shots the way that they can, but they're also playing really good defense, I'm not expecting the Knicks offense to look but so much better, in my opinion. I know that they didn't shoot the ball well from the 3-point line. You can see only 20%, only shot 40% from the field. But I think that this game I actually think that it goes under. I like under, and I like Boston first half. Those would be the ways that I would play. I have not played it yet, but Boston -3 in the first half is kind of calling my name. It's a shorter number. I know that the Celtics want to play with some urgency, but if you're telling me, I still think that Boston is the best team in basketball, especially with OKC looking like they're kind of on the ropes right now. We'll see how that goes. But if Porzingis, minutes continue to increase, going from, I think it was 13 and 14 in game 1 and 2 to up to 19, if he's going to continue to, feel better and be out there and available for his team, having some impact on the offensive end and the defensive end, I think Boston -3. I think I just run it back here. I typically don't like to run plays back like that, but I think Boston can get the job done. I also lean towards the under, thinking that the Celtics can win the game with their defense. Not expecting them to shoot 50% from the 3-point line, no. All right, so that's my thought process there. If we look here, if you're on the big screen, you can see the box scores. So a couple things stuck out to me as far as box scores go. Al Horford won. I talked about wanting to fade Al. Good thing I did not fade Al. Al finished with 15 points and 9 boards in that game. I do think that it's a little bit of regression for Al Horford, but the number of points plus rebounds is 14.5, and that's a little bit too low, given that I do think that his minutes will hover, north of about 33 minutes. Joe Mazzulla trusts Al Horford a lot, even with him being however old he is. And Porzingis, if his minutes, I don't know, if Porzingis' minutes is going to look the way that they did, he's going to be as inefficient, only having, 5 points all from the free throw line. Al Horford was knocking him down. He hit the first 3 that he shot. So I think 14.5 is about right. I wouldn't touch Jrue Holiday. What I considered fading Jason Tatum. But I don't think I want to, because even though Tatum finished with just 22 points, his line sitting at 27.5, Jason Tatum shot the ball 20 times. And I do think that we could continue to see Tatum just put his head down, rather than just settling for the 3-point shot. And, if the 3-point shot is falling, maybe he gets there. So I kind of want to play Tatum under his 27.5 points, thinking that they can lean on the others as well. And then last but not least, on the Celtics side of things would be Derek White, right? We talked about Derek White. He didn't have to do as much in this game because what's not pictured here is Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard came off the bench, dominated the game. And I think Peyton Pritchard, I don't think he's going to have back-to-back performances like that. So I think Derek White would be my favorite player prop. Probably just stay off of Tatum. His boards are still at 10.5. I think that's about right. He didn't get to 10 in the last game, but he also, got a lot of help from Al Horford and Jaylen Brown on the boards. And I don't know if that's going to keep happening as far as those two guys. So those are my thoughts. As far as the Knicks go, Mikal Bridges finally came back down to earth, even though he played 38 minutes, finished with 12 points and 3 rebounds and 2 assists. So that would have cashed that under 17.5 that we lost in game 2 in Boston, where he went for 14 points specifically in the fourth quarter to kill out over. OG Anunoby is kind of interesting because he hit 5 for 9 from the 3-point line in game number 1. In game 2 and 3, he's been absolutely abysmal, absolutely doing nothing. 1 for 6 in game number 3, as you can see here, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line, finishing the game with 2 points. His line is sitting at 14.5. It is juiced to the over, so the books are anticipating OG to bounce back. I guess that he could, but I think the Celtics defense is still going to be really good. Cat is also interesting. 21 points and 15 boards in game number 3. And he's dealing with that hand injury that we can't really, get a good grip on because the Celtics they keep everything so close to the vest as far as their injury report goes. He wouldn't disclose whether he went further testing on that hand. It's not his shooting hand. So I think he'll be out there. I think he'll be available. And he is a mismatch at times because Al Horford can't necessarily guard him. Maybe they try to go to Cat a little bit more earlier in the game. So not really sure what I would do with Cat. It does feel like he doesn't want the physicality that comes with, playing against the Celtics at times. He's complaining to the referees, hands on his hips, doing this all the time. Like, I'm not quite sure. The other one on the Celtics side of things on the Knicks side of things that I thought about looking at was Jalen Brunson. And this is a scary one, but Jalen Brunson under specifically on his assists. I know jaXon likes the under on his points plus assists. Jalen Brunson under on his assist prop. He got 7 in game number. And matter of fact, I should probably just go. That's nice for you guys to see this, but I should probably go over the Outlier because it's a little bit easier to see. All right, let's take that trip over real quick to Outlier. So I'm looking at, of course, this is Outlier. Link in the description if you guys are interested. 7-day free trial. Looking at Brunson. All right, so this is just assist prop. It's sitting at 6.5. You can see that he did go over. But he's barely getting there, right? Barely getting there. 7 assists in the last 2 games. Come down his to his potential. 16 and 13. I'm just at a mindset the Celtics, gonna go in here. They're gonna win the game. I do think they're gonna win the game, and I think they're gonna win it with defense. The Celtics finished the season top 3 in assists allowed. Specifically, overall, they finished top. They're top 3 right now. I think they're top 2 right now as far as assists allowed. You can see the top 3 right here. I just don't think that the guys for the Knicks. I mean, granted they can shoot the ball better, but I don't think. I think they'll guard Brunson 1-on-1. I don't think they'll double. And I think that the assists could be limited. Doing some deeper diving, I looked at Jalen Brunson, and his potential under his 6.5 assists was what I considered on the Celtics side. Probably the strongest look that I had on the Celtics side, on the Knicks side, as far as the player prop goes. All right, so those are my thoughts. Let's go back through the comments real quick, see what you guys are thinking. Under and first half Boston would be the way that I would be playing this game, though. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. What up, Brian? The Celtics first half, Minnesota money line. Let's get it today. Okay. I like that a lot. LJ says, what's up, Chris? Knicks 4-12 ATS in the first quarter at home in the playoffs since 2023. Knicks maybe cover again, but not winning another game. Yeah. Okay. Brian said that jaXon might be working for the books. Ricky says you ran Boston first half again. Justin says he'll go cap points plus rebounds, 32. He did get 15 boards in that last game. He's by far the best rebounder on the Knicks. G says he's going to go Knicks team total up and over 100 and a half. Think they bounce back offensively after having 93. What up, Mark? Says he played Boston first half as well, -3. Donnie says, where you get those numbers? Not sure what numbers you're talking about. What up, Pedro? Says, morning, Chris. Hope all is well. I took the OKC first quarter last night. The Nuggets seem to have realized the second quarter issues and are already addressed this in game 3. Chad says he likes under 2. It's a shorter number because it's a trap, bro. Knicks covering the under, Chad says. Yeah, I was definitely watching the show and went off in that last game. This probably be the game that he gonna fade though, and that's another reason why I kind of like the under 2. If you look at these box scores, right, and like I should have. It's my fault for not adding Peyton Pritchard up here. But if you take Peyton Pritchard points, right, you think about how many Peyton Pritchard contribute offensively. That's not a given. It's probably not gonna happen again. That's an outlier performance. You take what Al Horford did, 15 points, 9 rebounds. That's probably not going to happen again. Now, can it? Absolutely, because he's going to play 35 minutes, in my opinion, again. But I think with the regression that I'm expecting, Derek White shot 6 for 10 from the field. I expect Derek White to shoot the ball a little bit more. I think he gets more than 10 attempts. And if he's going to shoot 50% from the three-point line, then he's probably going to go up and over his points prop. So I do like Derek White. I think Jaylen Brown's about right, 7 for 18. Maybe he's a little bit more efficient, but I think 18, 19 points from him. Jason Tatum to get to 22. He's going to have to score the ball a little bit more. Him and Jaylen Brown might have to score the ball a little bit more because I'm not expecting as much from Peyton Pritchard. Drew Holiday's that X factor, somebody that can give you 15 to 20, but most of the time he's going to hover between, 12 and 7 probably, just because he's not going to shoot the ball as much. And you can see on the screen he went 3 for 4. And it's one of the reasons why Porzingis is also an potential X factor. But being that they shot the ball so well from the 3-point line, that's why I lean to the under. I think Boston could be due for some offensive aggression in this game as well. But I mean, we go back to the numbers, right? Just real quick, we go back to the numbers. Celtics 33-8 on the road. This was the best team on the road this season, right? Second best defensive team, second best offensive team. So it wouldn't surprise me, like I said, if they came in here, got the first half done again. All right, I'm taking too long on this one game, trying to go through the comments. What's up, Brian? Says, what up, Chris? He liked the Knicks plus 6.5. Let's see. Under, Johnny says, I like under 2. Props says, I agree with Knicks plus 6.5. Adding Josh Hart double. I don't know. I think the Celtics could get blown out. Could blow them out again. But I did not play it though. Don't let me talk y'all off the spread plays. What up, Peasy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Dom says, morning, Chris and chat. Take Celtics first half as well. Celtics simply the better team. To have a 1 possession lead don't seem crazy in my opinion, Dom. I agree. I think that's what I'm gonna play that. I think I'm gonna play Derek White. I think those are my 2 favorites so far. 77 figure says Celtics dominate again. 6.5 top play today. And that wouldn't surprise me. Celtics are the better team. Like, we can't get it twisted here. Knicks lost to the Pistons in round 1 twice at home. All right, let's move over to the Timberwolves and the Warriors game. And I'm gonna tell you guys right off the rip, man, I kind of feel indifferent about this game. We bet the Minnesota Timberwolves minus the 5 in game number 3, thinking that they would come out, with the sense of urgency. Not that Golden State wouldn't, but the Timberwolves lost game 1 at home as a favorite. They needed to regain that home court advantage, and now they have. They're up 2-1, of course. The 5 would have been good money if Jonathan Kuminga didn't hit that 3-pointer late. But the Timberwolves kind of played around with their food a little bit. If we go in and look at it, which I'm trying to, add this. Y'all let me know if this is helpful for y'all to see while y'all watching the show. To have these numbers on the side. So if we look at it, right, they shot about the same from the field, 43%, 3-point percentage. Golden State actually shot it better. Free throw percentage, exactly the same. Timberwolves won the rebounding battle by 8. They were only a +1 on the offensive glass, though. They have 7 more assists. Shout out to Julius Randle for getting that triple-double. The turnovers, Timberwolves actually turned the ball over a little bit more. You can see here 21-6, 21-15, but they did do a good job of getting back. Only 13 points given up off their turnovers. The Golden State Warriors turned the ball over 15 times and gave up 16 points. So +3, a -3 for Golden State there. They end up losing the game by 5. Probably should have lost the game by 8, but whatever the case might be. I kind of think, and the lines haven't moved at all. This open +5.5. Which is exactly where it closed at. I think it was some 6s. The total hasn't moved. The game was very, very close. I kind of feel like this is all super sharp. Like, I have no idea what to do with the game, man. I thought, the Timberwolves were the right side last time, and I think that they still were. I do kind of feel like they played, a little not as great. If we go through the box score real quick, as we kind of handicap the game, and we'll come back to this in a second. We go through the box score. This is kind of what I expected. Trace Jackson Davis played well early. He still ended up only just 11 minutes. Steve Kerr's kind of crazy with the rotations. Jonathan Kuminga, I didn't expect 30 points from him, but I knew somebody was going to have to score the basketball. And then hats off to Jimmy Butler. 33, 7, and 7 is a really great game. You need more from Draymond. 2 points, 4 assists, 6 fouls, and 2 steals and 2 rebounds. Not going to get the job done. But how much you expecting from Draymond in this game? I'm not quite sure. Buddy Hield finished right at his 14.5 points, which is what I think he was set at, 4 for 8 from the field, 33 minutes. Pods continues to not be great at all in this series. If we'll go through and look at it real quick when we get done with this. But for whatever reason, when Brandon Podziemski sees the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's almost like the Monstars take his juice. He's been terrible against the Timberwolves. So I know you think, okay, Brandon Podziemski should bounce back, 1 for 10 from the field, 1 for 4 from the 3-point line, 5 points, not going to cut it. And I agree. I'm just not sure what you're going to get from Pods, though. Like, I'll go through and show you guys in just a second. I kind of feel like this game still goes under. If we look on the opposite side, right? Because I'm not expecting Jonathan Kuminga to go out there and get you 30 points again, but I am expecting Draymond to play a little bit better. I'm not sure how many points that's going to translate into. And then everything else to me kind of feels about right. Like Golden State doesn't have the greatest bench. Not sure what, Steve Kerr was thinking about not only playing Moses Moody three minutes. I think Moses Moody deserved more time. We'll see how that goes. Minutes going to be crazy. And then we look at the Timberwolves side of things. Julius Randle only shot 1 for 6 from the 3-point line, still finished with 24 points. I mean, I think 23 attempts, that's about right. Jaden McDaniels had 15 points, hit 3 of his 4 threes. Mike Conley only finished with 7. Rudy Gobert, 9 and 13 there. And Anthony Edwards, of course, took over specifically in the second half, finishing with 36 points, 5 for 14 from the 3-point line. Took 28 attempts in that game. Maybe potential for Naz Reid to bounce back. Only 3 for 4, 25 minutes, hit all 3 of his threes, 9 points. Dante DiVincenzo can play a little bit better. Nickeil Alexander-Walker could play a lot better, especially after having such a big game in game number 2. I don't know, man. I kind of want to go back to Minnesota minus the 5. I feel like Golden State's offense without Steph is just really, really bad. That's why I kind of want to be, but I don't think I'm gonna play it. I don't think I'm gonna play it. As far as the total goes, just going back, and this was the same exact graphic that I had up for the last game. The first half was first half total points was see if I can pull it up real quick. Last game it was 97.5 minus 112 on FanDuel. I do remember that. If we look at the first half for today's game, still 97.5 minus 110 on DraftKings. All of the numbers here would say you go back to the under, right? Golden State now 9 and 1 to the under in the first half. You just add another number to all of the things that are already red because that game did go under. And it does set up well for a first half under again. It's 97 on a couple books, 97.5. So I guess I'd lean towards first half under, thinking that Golden State does come out, try to play some resemblance of defense again. Maybe Minnesota starts off slow again. I do expect the game to be played very, very slow. But like I said, I'm not quite sure how. I don't really think I want to pull the trigger on it. It just feels uncomfortably low. And then last but not least, real quick, I just want to go back to the player props real quick. So let's go back to Outlier and look at a couple things I was looking at. So first one was, let's just go look at Brandon Brzezinski. I was telling you guys about him. I'm not going to play on Brandon Brzezinski, but just want you to see what Brandon Brzezinski numbers have looked like against the Golden State Warriors this season. So here's his points prop. You can see that he's been struggling even in the Houston series. Only one game where he had a 26-point performance in his last, 8-9 games. But if you look at the games in the head-to-head matchup, this is him over the course of this season. Those games started right here at this 8. So 8, 6, 12, 3, 11, and 5. But even outside of just the points that he's gotten, look at the field goals and the field goal attempts. So let's just go last 5, okay? What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's just go last 5. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I looked at in game number 3, I think. No, game number 2, when I knew Steph wasn't going to be playing. Thought that, the opportunity would be there for him, and it has been. But you're not going to get it done shooting 33%, 14%, 44%, and 10%. That ain't going to get the job done. So Pies kind of scares me a lot. Tell you guys the other one I was looking at. I was looking at Anthony Edwards. Not even on his points prop. Looking at Anthony, this is a nice fade spot on his points in the first quarter if you want to play the under 7.5, but I'm going to stay on the sideline there. I was looking at an assist, and the reason why is because I kind of feel like you got to throw the kitchen sink at Anthony Edwards in this game. Maybe some double teams. After he comes out, he only finished with 4 assists. You can see his line sitting at 4.5. He had 5 in game number 2. The potentials aren't really there either. 8 and 6. That's one of the reasons why this is on my short list. But I kind of feel like after having 36 points in this game here, right? Taking 28 shots. I kind of think Steve Kerr got to throw the kitchen sink at Anthony Edwards and make somebody else beat him. That's going to open up a lot for the offense. So as far as the other guys being able to play make, I know that Julius Randle, last person we'll look at real quick. I know that Julius Randle has been the big assist guy, right? They've been kind of running the offense through Julius Randle. And you can see if you like his assists, let's just go over real quick. Change this to over 6.5. So if you like his assists, you love that, the potentials have absolutely been there. Chris Finch has put the ball in his hand, let him be the playmaker. 11 and 12 assists. Even in game number 1, he had 6 assists. But look at these potentials: 11, 14, and 16. So I do think that I just think that Anthony Edwards is going to have more potential assists in this game, because I think that they're going to double him specifically. We'll see how it goes, but I'll add that to that's already on my short list. Looking at Anthony Edwards to go Anthony Edwards to go over his 4.5 assists in this game, thinking that, like I said, they just double him a lot and somebody else gonna have to step up. So Boston first half minus the 3. Boston, New York under 209, I think is the number. Minnesota minus the 5. And Edwards over 4.5 assists. And then going back to that last game, to the first game, Derek White over. Let's just see what his points prop is real quick. I think I would. Derek White actually been getting some boards too, man. Like I think I just played Derek White points specifically, honestly. He's at 15.5. Well, 16.5 is kind of high. I probably would add the rebounds, I think. The 3-point shot should be there though, is how I'm feeling about it. Let's see what you guys are thinking real quick. Points plus rebounds is 21.5 for Derek White. I think that's the way I would play Derek White. 21.5 points plus rebounds. But again, I haven't played anything. Let's go through the comments real quick on this one before we jump into a quick recap and see what you guys are thinking here. Timberwolves better on the road. I love it. Says it's helpful, Chris. Great. Good. Okay. Good. I like to hear that. Appreciate the feedback. I love us. Randall over. I love it. Says, what's up, Billy? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Yeah, no, that's a fact, John. He said they don't really care about the game, in my opinion. Just wanted to win. We'll see how that goes. Celtics minus 9.5 for plus money is good. Timberwolves better on the road, Parlay J says. Randy says, Chris, how can you say Boston is better than New York? How can I? Are you serious? How can I say Boston's better than New York? You watched the series? Boston had a 20-point lead in every single game. They just blew it in 2 of them. That's how. That's crazy. Warriors can't handle mobile bigs, Parlay J says. Dom says, I hate this game in this series. With that being said, we ignore the Warriors first half under? The 10-1 to the under in the first half during the playoffs. Number just so low, Doms. 97.5 is low, bro. But yeah, I agree. Nicholas says Kerr not playing Kuminga for the majority of the playoffs is crazy. I don't care if he doesn't work with Jimmy. He's so talented to waste like that. Yeah, it's all about like spacing and stuff, though. Is how he's looking at it. What else y'all saying? Mark says I like Minnesota team total over 102.5, but hasn't bet it yet. Parlay J says take Brzezinski over his rebounds and assists. I agree with this comment from Love. I love us. He says this is more of a live bet situation. Ryan says first quarter under, first half under Golden State, Minnesota money line. Minnesota has concentration problems, not laying points. Golden State under for Chad, 97.5. LJ says Anthony Edwards 5-1 in playoff career game fours, averaging 35 points. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, Polivia, you're right. I love Al Horford. I'm all about longevity, but when he out there laying bricks, looking like he's trying to build, a 3,500 square foot mansion in the heart of New York City, or at least he was in Boston, and Jalen Brunson got him out there tap dancing because they putting him in the pick and roll all night long. Jalen Brunson Al Horford looked like he's supposed to be standing beside Joe Mazzulla, but I give him credit because he did play well, and I needed him in that last game from a team perspective to cash that first half. I would go under. Norris, I would go under on this game. I think you see it on the screen, right? Look at the Warriors got 33 points from Jimmy Butler and 30 points from Jonathan Kuminga. I don't think Kuminga's going to give you 30 again. I think the Timberwolves are a really good defensive team. Who else scoring for the Warriors? I would go under. Wolves money line wire to wire here. 77 figure says, "What up, Truth?" Says, "Peace, Chris. Salute." Karl Anthony Towns double. Tatum double. Brunson 6.5 assists. Likes the over. I like under. Josh Hart 14.5 assists plus rebounds. Okay. Celtics to cover for Johnny. Justin says, "Chris, he was playing about how you can say Boston better than the Knicks unless he." Oh, okay. I thought I was tripping, bro. I got up super early this morning, so I'm a little tired already. Yeah, I thought I was okay. All right, cool. Thought I was tripping, man. That's a fact. He gonna space him out in the playoffs for sure. I expect Kuminga to get 35 minutes again. I'm just not sure if he's gonna go out there and get 30 points again. Timberwolves got really good defenders, man. If they locked in, they should have covered the last game. We'll see how it goes, though, man. We covered it all, though. Player prop, size, totals, first half, team totals, all that good stuff. I'll leave you guys with this. I haven't made a bet yet, but I'm highly likely to be on Boston first half minus the 3, even with the comments coming out from Tibbs and from Brunson early in that game. I just think you take the better of the teams. It's not like Boston is up 2-1. They still down 1-2, right? I think that's a part to take into the handicap. That 3 looks like the best number is minus 115. It probably closed at 3.5. I think so as well. It's only a couple. It's only 2 3s as well. Everything else is 3.5. Caesars and Bet 365 got a 3 right now. Everybody else got 3.5, including. Let's see. Oh, I thought I had Pinnacle up. I don't have Pinnacle up right now. Yeah, so Boston first half is probably my favorite play. I like the under as well. Derek White over his 21.5 points plus rebounds. I'm taking Minnesota off, man. I'm not betting on Minnesota today, minus 5. I'm taking that off. But I do think Ant goes up and over his 4.5 assists because they throw the kitchen sink at him defensively, though. So I'll leave you guys with these 4 as, potential bets that I'll make today. As always, red plays are plays that are unofficial. Haven't bet any of them yet. Again, it gets harder as the playoffs go further and further. And I'm cool with sitting on the sideline, making a live bet, not playing it all like yesterday. We're up a lot of units in the playoffs. No need to force, man. No need to force. If I make anything official, I will send it out to the members. So make sure you're checking out that sign-up link if you're interested in getting the plays delivered to your inbox, to your email, as soon as I make them. And that'll be the show. Resources, as always, are here. jaXon, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam, all those good things. And if you need a sports book, use that link in the description to sign up. Great way to show appreciation towards the show. We've been talking for 45 minutes about 2 games. Hit the thumbs up. Drop the link to the show in the group chat as always, man. Happy belated Mother Day to all the moms out there who didn't watch the show yesterday. We love you guys in general. And enjoy your Monday, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all be good. I'm out.